Hey guys, ShadowRock here with your Mega News Roundup for September 27th, 2021. Thank you to all of you who have sent your best wishes for the air conditioner situation. The unit has since been fixed, so I actually have air conditioning again, and so I am back in the studio. That being the case, this roundup will be catching up on all the news that we missed over the last 2 weeks, including what's going on this week. Without further fumbling around then, let's rock. As always, let's begin by visiting Rico in the DiVE blog and see what she's got for us this week and last week, since we're going to do a quick recap on that. Which isn't much, because all we got was the explosive flamethrower limited weapon, which was part of another limited weapon banner, where you got a guaranteed S-rank weapon on your first, third, and fifth 10 pulls. The explosive flamethrower itself is based off of Blazing Flizzard from Mega Man 03. This weapon is another S-rank fire sprayer, but with a blue flame, and it can release additional balls of fire when attacking, and the fireballs will detonate when hitting a target. Last Wednesday, Rockman-chan DiVE also released new Jacob stages, which culminated into another boss fight with Magma Dragoon. And finally, last week debuted the Street Fighter crossover event. That's right, Street Fighter is coming to Rockman-chan DiVE. So far, all you could really do is do a few event missions to get coins in order to exchange for arcade-shaped crates, which gives you a chance of acquiring some of the Street Fighter cards. And one of the missions just gives you the Dan card outright. In addition, Capcom Taiwan is running their own like and share event, which at least at the moment is the only way to acquire the Chun-Li card. And thankfully the goal has been smashed, so anyone who puts their ID in the comments on their Facebook page post will get the rewards. Now on the Japanese side of things, you can actually get the cards outright from the store with your coins. That's not the case in Taiwan for whatever reason. And by the way, all the Street Fighter stuff is not going on in Global right now. Like we covered before, Global's doing their own thing, so I'll tell you guys what's going on with Global once I finish up with the Taiwan and Japanese version update. Just so there's no confusion about that, I'm referring to the Taiwan and Japanese versions as Rockman-chan DiVE, and then when I get to Global, I'll call it Mega Man X DiVE, making it a little bit easier to understand. This week in the DiVE blog is when the Street Fighter crossover event really gets started, with the introduction of the Gacha banner, which will feature none other than Ryu and Chun-Li from the Street Fighter series. Nope, no cosplaying this time, these are the real characters. Well, at least Hunter program copies of them, but I digress. This is the second Capcom crossover we have gotten now. The first one being Monster Hunter, for anyone who is not aware, and I gotta say, I am a bit disappointed with the Street Fighter crossover. I thought the whole idea that Rico and Via, and X even, are cosplaying as Monster Hunter characters, and in X's cases, he literally got a new armor in the form of Raphael's Armor X. I thought that was a really fun and cool idea to do for a crossover event, making it more unique than, okay, well, here's your protagonist from this game, have fun. Because it's not like Mega Man characters haven't dressed up as Street Fighter characters before. And yes, I'm talking about freaking Dr. Light, man. He's got the secret capsules in X1 and X2, where he's got the headband, and he teaches you the Hadouken, the Shoryuken. Make Dr. Light the Ryu character. It was right there in your face, Capcom. I know people want it, I want it, Coleman wants it, you just gotta do it. But alas, I guess we'll just have to play as Ryu and Chun-Li in the flesh. Maybe they could still do Ryu Dr. Light as a skin for Ryu. And perhaps more vocal than the request for Ryu Dr. Light is a request for Ryu Armor X essentially. I mean, X can already learn the Hadouken and Shoryuken in the form of Fax and Sax, but he doesn't actually use those skills in DiVE except for one Easter egg for Fax, and then there's another one for Tax. No Sax, unfortunately. So, sure, I guess. But man, I really wanted them to keep the cosplaying idea. It doesn't feel as special to me just adding these characters straight up, but whatever. There is one positive to having Ryu himself in DiVE, however. Way back with the cancelled Mega Man Universe game, and the Funean team did promise that Ryu would be a playable character among other Capcom IPs. So in that way, DiVE is fulfilling another long-held dream, making Ryu a playable character in a Mega Man game. I don't know how much people really wanted Ryu to be in a Mega Man game even when Mega Man Universe was a thing, but there you go. I will say it is amusing watching these martial artists run around with guns in hand. However, Fortnite already beat them to the punch on that. But we don't talk about Fortnite on this channel, so we're gonna wipe that from our minds and move on. At least until Mega Man shows up, then I'll have to talk about it. Yay. With the Ryu and Chun-Li characters, we're also getting a new event stage, of course, which is based on Ryu's stage from the games. And to help us explain what the stage will be about, we have another dive time with producer Yoda, who seems to be very excited to have Ryu in the game. Like, no joke. Holy howdo. So anyway, he tells us a little bit about the Street Fighter event, and as for the event stage itself, they've added in some elements like you have to collect the Force of Hado as your event item, and they added in the Breaking the Barrels minigame. Nice. And is that a Blanca Metar I see? Whoa dude, that's pretty cool. And do you want to guess who's the boss of this event stage? Yeah, it's Akuma. Because, of course it is. He was the inspiration for Magma Dragoon after all. And he was a secret boss in that Street Fighter X Mega Man fan game which Capcom officially licensed, so Akuma isn't going away anytime soon. Especially because now that he is a boss in DiVE, I give it a 99.9% chance he's going to be next week's gacha banner. So if you care about Akuma over Ryu or Chun-Li, I would suggest saving your medals. Moving on then, producer Yoda also takes this dive time to remind us of the Steam version, which is now out in Asia. And we covered in the last Mega News that it was region locked, but it turns out that if you use a VPN just to download the game, once the game is downloaded onto your account, you can just turn off the VPN forever and you'll be fine. So while it is still technically against Steam's TOS, and you do this at your own risk, you can technically get the game pretty easily on Steam. And then you can use your Taiwan version account on the Steam version. I have heard reports that people in Europe have some issues with the game, and if that does happen to you, you can try changing your region settings to the US on your computer, and that should fix things up for you. You can always change it back when you're done playing. Lastly, producer Yoda has one last secret for us. And that is, they're going to release new content in a new system. This game gets new content every week, but sure. But the new system part is at least something. Are they finally going to give us the 3v3 PvP mode they promised already? Or is it something entirely new? I guess we'll find out together real soon. Copyright, trademark registered. Alrighty then, you got the dive news, you know Akuma's a boss and everything. Let's talk about skills for Ryu and Chun-Li. Ryu's first skill is Denjin Renki, a damaging shield that gives you enhanced damage and has a chance of rendering the target immobile when hit. There's also a skill card that gives you 2 stacks of enhanced defense. The second skill, you know it's Shinku Hadouken! The trailer reveals that in Denjin status, the skill will be enhanced into a more powerful Denjin Hadouken when you use the damaging shield first. The trailer doesn't mention this, but it looks like Shinku Hadouken can heal Ryu when he deals the finishing blow on an enemy, aka kills them. And the Denjin Hadouken can stun, which should be helpful for PvP. Now let's discuss Chun-Li, who incidentally has a better looking model than Ryu does. I guess she got a slightly better face than she did in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite at first. Chun-Li's first skill is... Okay, that might get annoying after a minute. So yes, kick is pretty much another dash forward attack, except she's spin kicking. Spinning bird kick can also give Chun-Li an increased movement speedy for 3 stacks. Skill 2 is, I'm gonna say this wrong, aren't I? Well, here goes. Oyokusen, which is her signature kicking attack from the games. Chun-Li will gain enhanced defense with the effect. It will stack and the duration will equal to the increase in movement speed. Okay, that was hard to read. One more thing about spinning bird kick though, it looks like that skill also gives Chun-Li a heal when she deals the finishing blow. Anyway, that's about it for our Rockman X DiVE news roundup. What do you guys think of Ryu and Chun-Li? Are you excited for Akuma? And what do you think about the Street Fighter collab in general? Let us know in the comments. Now for you Mega Man X DiVE global players, it's time to get you up to speed on the news. So, besides the global team taking from content creators for the upteenth time, last week saw the release of the Sigma banner, along with the poop transplant, the explosive blower. And what's pretty cool about that is you got a free 10 pull out of it. Myself, I got a fake out S rank weapon, but it was the extraordinary mortar, so nothing really special. This week, however, they're bringing in the Mega Man Zero content, which means you're gonna get the pull for Leviathan and Mega Man Zero himself this week. And that's pretty much all that they have announced so far. But presumably that would also mean they're gonna do the Mega Man Zero event stage and the other related events back when the Zero stuff came out in the Taiwan version. So guys, with some of the Deep Vlog stuff out of the way, let's get into the non-Mega Man X DiVE news. In the last Mega News video, we covered that Rush was coming to Monster Hunter Rise, and that was indeed the case. Rush has been officially announced now, and as of September 24th, you can participate in an event quest that will get you the Rush costume for your Palamut. And of course, Rush himself is based on his Mega Man 11 appearance. Even the trailer is very Mega Man 11 themed, which is pretty cool. His bark is the same, he transforms into Rush Jet when you ride on him, and he can even Rush Coil. It's definitely a good costume for a good boy. So if you do have Monster Hunter Rise and you haven't done the event quest yet, get on that. Speaking of Monster Hunter, during the recent Nintendo Direct, Capcom announced the Monster Hunter Rise massive expansion called Sunbreak. And with that announcement was the reveal of what Capcom is exactly up to at Tokyo Game Show 2021 in just a few short days. We covered before that Capcom had an online program planned for September 30th. And now we know that program is going to be entirely on Monster Hunter. It's literally titled Capcom Online Program Monster Hunter Spotlight, featuring Stories 2, Wings of Ruin, Rise, and of course, the Rise expansion. That being the case, that basically confirms that Capcom is not going to be doing any other kind of announcements at Tokyo Game Show this year. It's 100% Monster Hunter, no Mega Man, or Resident Evil, or anything like that. So, I suppose we'll just have to wait a while longer to finally hear what that Rockman Tyson game is all about. Among other things, if they are doing anything else. Although, the announcement of Sunbreak is a bit interesting. It was codenamed Rise G in the unfortunate Capcom data breach, which is where we found out about Rockman Tyson. And Rise G was slated for the end of 2022. But instead, Sunbreak, which is the official name now, is targeting a summer 2022 release window. What that means is, well, plans change, they always do. The mission always changes. So you never know. Maybe Rockman Tyson could get pushed up to an earlier release date than the late 2022 release date that it has on the breach. And since Rise G was a placeholder name, it's still possible Tyson could be a placeholder name too. But all we can really do is speculate there. Interesting to point out nonetheless. I also have one correction to make about that data breach too. I've been talking about a while how they were looking at selling 2 million Mega Man copies with Tyson, which is unprecedented for any Mega Man game by the way. But if you take a closer look at the fine print, It's actually that Capcom is looking to sell 2 million copies in 3 years, and there's apparently DLC planned for this Tyson game too. So that means if they're aiming for 2 million copies in 3 years, it's not just going to be Tyson, but any other games they may release in that time frame, and of course the older titles like Mega Man 11, which is still selling to this day, thanks to all the price cuts and the sales on digital storefronts. So they should give you a better idea of what Capcom's strategy is going to be for the next 3 to 4 years. In other news, the Capcom vs Osamu Tezuka characters exhibit is going to be reopening on October 1st. And so a while ago we got this cool little promo video that shows Astro Boy in the world of Mega Man pretty much, and then Mega Man clears out some enemies on the ground, and the two heroes eventually meet up on the roof of the Parco Shopping Center, which incidentally is the venue for the exhibition, which is in Ikebukuro, Tokyo. It's a nice little video, and it's cool to see Astro Boy in sprite form, and of course Mega Man meeting Astro Boy. That's always fun. So if you are in the area, go ahead and check it out. Otherwise, at least we can admire some of the artwork and the goods from afar. And that makes a great segue into our merchandising section, where Fangamer has now put out some new Mega Man stuff. And it's pretty awesome. First of all, you got a Dr. Wily hoodie with an awesome skull motif with some gears in there too. A Wily UFO sliding pin, a Met sliding enamel pin, but my favorite has to be the freaking Servbot plush. Yes, Servbot is an adorable little plush now that you can buy for $30 on Fangamer. Not only that, but this little guy comes with a little Curry plush that attaches to his hand with a magnet. So now you too can have a lunch rush. The Servbot plush itself stands at 10 inches tall when standing. And my gosh, it's just so adorable. I actually really want to buy it. And if you want to as well, I'll leave a link to that in the description below. Next up, Rockman-chan Episode 11 is now available to read, at least if you can read Japanese. And this one has quite an interesting robot master with a dancing platform for a head and double machine guns. There's even babes on top of his head. Okay then. Yep, this manga series is definitely a treat. Link in the description if you want to see it for yourself. Alright, for our last two news segments, I have some bad news and some good news. So I'll start with the bad news. Mega Man Fully Charged has been delisted from Amazon and Cartoon Network. Yeah, already. We covered not too long ago that Mega Man Fully Charged was added to Amazon for you to stream, but it's not there anymore. There's still some clips here and there you can watch, but full-length episodes? Yeah, you're gonna have to pirate it now, which is weird to say. And you guys know, I don't condone pirating. But I mean, if you actually did want to watch this show, what can you do now? Why is this happening? Well, there hasn't been any official announcements about it, but the owner, Wildbrain, also removed all the Ruby Spears Mega Man cartoons from their YouTube channel as well. So it's sounding more and more like it's a distribution rights issue. Is the rights to Mega Man being given to another company? Are things being renegotiated? Did they pass on a renewal of the rights? It's really hard to say, but in the meantime, F in the chat for Mega Man Fully Charged. It was nice knowing you, and I guess we'll see if it ever shows up again on official platforms. Okay, now for the good news. The same preservation team that is working on preserving Rockman EXE Phantom of Network and Rockman EXE Legend of Network has recently acquired a phone that does have all 5 chapters of Rockman Dash Great Adventure on 5 Islands installed on it. 5 Islands is another really old Mega Man mobile game that runs on the same phone platform as Phantom of Network and Legend of Network. So that means however much progress the team makes with extracting Phantom of Network and Legend of Network, they could then apply that knowledge and strategies to trying to extract 5 Islands as well. The ultimate goal, like with the EXE games, is to get the game on a modern computer and be able to emulate it maybe. Of course, it's not going to be an easy task. Project lead Rockman Cosmo detailed the challenges that faced him with preserving this game. For one, the phone that they have does not have an active Docomo SIM card, which is required to play the game. So while they are able to look at the SD card and see some encrypted files from 5 Islands on it, the game itself is unplayable on the phone without that SIM card, so that's one thing that they need to get straightened out. And it's currently unknown if the files are corrupted or complete. And that's how far they have gotten so far. They dumped some data from the SD card, but they now need to verify the data, and having that SIM card would probably help. With that in mind, obviously it's not a 100% guarantee that they can get 5 Islands off the phone and onto a modern computer, but that is the ultimate goal, and it is the furthest anyone has gotten to actually preserving this game. And since the service that hosted 5 Islands closed down in 2018, time is of the essence here, especially with 5 Islands, because the base game only has 2 islands. You need to download the other islands through DLC, but thankfully they do have a phone that has all the DLC on it. They just need to actually get it off. I cannot stress how important this really is. We could legit lose this game forever if this fails. I mean, how many people still have these old phones lying around that not only has the game but all the DLC installed on it? So if you want to hear all about the project, I'll leave a link to Rockman Corner's article on it in the description below. And like with the EXE mobile preservation project, I highly recommend supporting these guys. They're doing great work and it's an awesome effort. A very important one too. Oh hey, breaking news! I have even more good news for Mega Man Legends fans. It's not Legends 3, but the Mega Man Legends 2 soundtrack is now coming to vinyl and cassette thanks to Ship to Shore Phonoco, who is the same company that released the Mega Man Legends 1 soundtrack not too long ago. This should be the first time that the entire Mega Man Legends 2 OST is in a physical format. So if you do want this, the pre-orders are going up on their website on September 28th at 2 PM Eastern. And that is tomorrow as I'm recording this video. So it's coming up really soon. Hopefully this video comes out before then so you guys get the news in time. Otherwise, oops. But in the event we are on time, I will have a link to their online store in the description so you can bookmark that and get ready to pre-order. Now if you do miss out on the Legends 2 pre-order, the Legends 1 vinyl and cassette ended up on other stores as well, so maybe you'll still get lucky to Legends 2 as well. Just remember the date, September 28th at 2 PM Eastern. Keep your eye on the store. And with that, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this Mega News Roundup. For more on Mega Man and other things too, like the Gumball Chronicles Luminous Adventure X2 video I still need to work on, stay tuned to ShadowRockZX. We've also recently done a live stream for a beta demo of Protojoy Delta, and this demo is only for backers, but it gave us a little taste of how the game is coming along. For those not in the know, it's a Mega Man X style game that takes the gameplay and mechanics into 3D. And so far, for an early in development title, I think it does a better job of that than X7 did. I think it's certainly well worth checking out, and I'll leave a link to that stream in the description below. I'm also still continuing my Metroid Marathon series to celebrate Metroid Dread dropping in just a couple weeks. And it is a fundraiser stream with the goal of getting some additional funds to help out with a trip to go see I'm a Speck of Dust after Air Force graduation. So far the marathon has been a success. We're getting really close to our goal, which is going to force me to play Metroid Other M, which will be a blind run by the way because I never played Other M before. I'm looking to continue the marathon on Tuesday with Metroid Samus Returns and AM2R. And AM2R was one of the goals for the donation incentives. So if you are interested at all, I really appreciate it if you would come by and check it out. And I also just want to thank everyone who has contributed so far and hung out and made this stream a success on Saturday. It really does mean a lot to not only me, but Spec as well. You guys mean a lot to us, you really do. So thank you very much. And speaking of people that mean a lot to us, I want to thank everybody who is a channel member of the ShadowRockZX channel, including SA class supporter Dustin, and GA class supporter Zero Scarlet, LML123, Chaos Bonkai, Adrian Cauldron, Vince Crystals, Rose Maverick Sand, Rico Syndrome, and Austin Buford. And once again, just thank you guys for all the support. It's crazy. And we'll see you guys in the next Mega News Roundup stream or anything else we do. Until then, rock on, you have yourselves a great day or night, and Shinku Hadouken!